Sin is no longer your master, for you no longer live under the requirements of the law. Instead, you live under the freedom of God's grace. Well then, since God's grace has set us free from the law, does that mean that we go on sinning? Of course not. Don't you realize that you become the slave of whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey God, which leads to righteous living. Thank God. Once you were slaves of sin, but now you wholeheartedly obey this teaching we have given you. Now you are free from your slavery to sin, and you've become slaves to righteous living. Romans chapter 6, verses 14 to 18. We all serve something. We can serve our community, our family. However, we can also serve our vices, our selfishness, our ego, the old self that knows no better than to follow instincts and fear. But I love the challenge the Apostle Paul gives us. You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey God, which leads to righteous living. It's all in a choice. Once we realize we are no longer slaves to our whim or servants to sin, once we realize the truth, we can make a choice to be free and serve a life fulfilling and beautiful.